Hello and welcome to Wisdom Hour, my final one that I'm doing on Fridays for a whole hour. This service is going to change and I'm going to be doing one shorter one every day from Tuesdays to Fridays at 1 o'clock. So those of you who get my newsletter, you'll see more details about it in there. But for others who maybe just be watching today, just so you know, you can still put in a question, and I'll endeavour to let people at the beginning of the week, which questions I'm answering over the week. And then if you find that yours comes up further down the track, you can always go back to my website, katiekalin.com. There's a blog page there and it has all the Wisdom Hour videos, and they're all going to be indexed so you can find things really easily. And so that's just something I'm working on at the moment, because indexing them is a bit of takes a bit of time and effort. So but I'm hoping to make things much more easy for people to access what they find interesting, as well as for their own questions that they put in. Okay, so that's all happening at the moment, and so I don't have to be going through my own videos and sort of going, oh, that one starts at 1 minute 03. That's why I'm just going to try and do the one video on one question per day and then put it up, which makes it a lot easier for me. Okay, so moving right along, we've got some interesting questions today for our Friday session, and I think I'll just address maybe things not to worry about, but to be sure of, because there are a couple of ones here that sort of bridge on, having a medical condition, and so I just need to give you some flags about that, okay? Now, the first one. Is it best for me to create a niche in my line of work? What is my niche, or how do I find it? Okay, so the goal that I muscle tested for this was to stay with my general practice until I know how I can prioritize my niche. So that was kind of interesting in that, So at the moment she's just doing a general practice. She's only just started recently, okay? And everyone's been telling her she's got a niche. So let's just see what it says about that, because I'm sure a lot of people here who look on this who are self-employed have the same issue, right? So this girl's positive, active, clear, energetic. We need to come in. She's okay with me. Right. We need to work with one. Tapping to trails, clicks, claps, sound, light, smell, gravity, energy, field, waste. So, to this person, place your hands just above your navel and see how it feels in your gut in this area. This feeling represents your practical nature, and that you are focusing at the moment on getting clients and working in a way that doesn't put too much pressure on you. This is correct for you at the moment, and when you do get more clients, you will start to notice you prefer or enjoy working with some more than others. When this happens, take note of how these clients found you and how they knew about you, and prioritize that way of reaching these ideal clients of yours. These clients may or may not get your niche sorted out, but you are more concerned at this stage about getting clients and not which type of clients they are. As you get busier, you will naturally notice you prefer a type of client and you work best with a type of client, and this could mean the way they work with you, or also the way they engage with the treatment, or that they are coming with a particular problem, and these people are many and they all are turning up with the same problem or something very similar. If these things meet, the client is the type of client you enjoy working with, and they engage with your treatment in a way that is helpful to them and to you, and they practical understand, they prioritize getting well, and they won't waste your time by working against what you give them or tell them. Then you can probably easily work out your niche from these what? Do you know these things that stick together in your mind. Anything else? Oh, one more thing. Meanwhile, because this is very new for you and you are still working with a mentor, prioritize getting practice with as many clients as you can through this mentor, and don't worry too much at this extremely early stage about your niche. Okay. Yeah, and I know everyone keeps on going on about the niche, right? But really, niche marketing is, in particular, it's when you get into, marketing online. And if you're not interested in marketing online, sometimes niche isn't so important, maybe, for some people. If you're just going locally, you're sort of like you're kind of like the local GP. People are turning up because they want help with certain things, and they then from you maybe get sent to a specialist or something like that. So it's kind of interesting how these things sort of go around, these sort of trends. And then sometimes we go through it, like I have to, I've gone down the whole niche thing. And then you sort of come back to your own sense of what is working for you and what isn't. And absolutely, niching does work for people if they really get into online marketing. And so they're trying to present their stuff to many, many, many people, because you can't talk to all those people all at once. So that's why you niche. So you talk to one particular type of person and you speak in their language and you offer it in their language and in the places that they will turn up. But as I say, if you're just starting out, maybe, you haven't learnt those things that come together that yet, or you haven't experienced them to know what really is that niche you want to go down yet. It's an interesting one. Okay. Next one. Now, when I lie down to sleep, I have intense pain down the sides of my neck. It's very hard to turn my head. What's causing this pain? Okay, now this is where I have to say, and this one and the next one as well. Hello, Claire. That, if you're having symptoms that may have something to do with something seriously medical, you need to go and get some tests done. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that means you need to, go any further than that, but I'm just saying please go and get the tests done, and so if there's anything kind of nasty going on there that you need to know about. All right? I mean, I'm talking about things like, tumours and, all the nasties. So don't ignore things just because you go to your doctor and you say, listen, could you give me a scan or some tests and some blood tests because I just want to know what the hell this thing is. It's then you've still got, what do you call it, say over your body after that. If he says, well, I think you should go and get your head chopped off, or whatever, it's up to you whether you then take that next lot of advice, right? So I think too many people are scared of going to the doctor now because they're scared of getting pushed into, taking medication or having surgery or whatever the hell it is. But what I'm saying is, the medical system has its own strong points. Let's not ignore them. Let's work together. And those tests, if they can give you valuable information, you need to go and get it because that forms part of your picture. And as an intelligent human being, when you have a problem, it's good to look and get information from all angles. So that's what I'd say to you about that. Plus, I don't want anyone coming back and suing me because they died because they didn't get medical attention and they said, oh, I just relied on what you said to do, Kate. So please don't do that, okay? And don't do that to me, because that's the last thing I want for you, is to ignore your medical symptoms. Okay, so now this one, the goal I got for her was to get my great misunderstanding about how life works sorted out. Okay, so this goal is positive, active, clear, energetic. She's happy to be to come in. Give me a yes, give me a no. We need to work with 1, 2, 3 or 4. She wants to resource, respect, balance, daily life, activity, environment, nourishment, language. This is something she says to herself, says to others, through out loud, no, by internally. So she's projecting this out to others. To anyone in particular? No, just generally. Okay, what is it? A statement, a question, an I statement, a you statement. So this is something this person won't be aware of probably, are they? No, they're not aware of. It's kind of like a message they project out without actually saying it. So it's kind of probably comes from a deep belief or something like that, okay? It's a question, it's a statement, and it's an I statement. I won't listen to what you say if it doesn't agree with my beliefs, and I won't put any great worth on what you say if you don't agree with what I already believe. Oh, okay. And listen, I'm sure as therapists, we've all come across this, and listen, it's not the person's fault. As I say, it's usually something that's been programmed in there from whenever, and it's just really, really hard for them to open up, and take advice or whatever, because they've already got some idea, or they think they have an idea of what's going on, maybe. Is that it? Yeah, they have an idea of they think they have an idea of what's going on, or maybe they've had some training or whatever, and so they've made their own assessment, if you like, but they don't know how to proceed, and they don't want another opinion really. They just want to know what to do next. Okay, so right, let's just see what your very wise self says about this, okay? Because as I say, we all suffer from this, from all sorts of programming. It's not just you, All right, so don't feel bad about what's being said here, because we've all got these weird scripts that go on, and sometimes when you look back on your life, when you've uncovered one and you kind of get on top of it, you look back and you go, Jesus, I must have been driving people crazy, you know, because you just weren't aware at all. And you're not a bad person, because you're operating out of your programming and you're not absolutely not aware of it. Okay, so you won't want to hear this. I'm sorry. You won't want to hear this, but you are getting upset. You are getting upset about everything in your life that you don't want to hear. Oh, this is the underlying reason for this physical problem you are experiencing. This does not mean that you are not experiencing symptoms in reality. You are. But the deep cause is coming from your general belief that every that every whatever needs to agree with your opinion. This doesn't serve you, and this neck pain is trying to tell you that you are now able to deal with this, whereas in the past you may not have been ready to do this. You can get this resolved by placing yourself in the hands of a professional who can unearth this programming and get you free of it. Is this muscular? Is it muscular? Is it joint? I'm getting that it's muscular. Is it joint? Is it wear and tear on the joints? Is it cartilage? Is it tendon? Is it joint related? It's muscular tension. This is muscular tension that is putting a severe strain on your spine. So it's muscular tension that's putting strain on your spine. And this is giving you the pain. This contraction is in the muscles which allow us to turn our head like this and to nod it up and down like this. And you are not able to do either without pain, because your body is telling you that you are, no, not stuck, you are what? Getting your you're getting your pressure from inside yourself, and this means that you are being greatly limited in how you can receive opinions from others. Okay, so what I'd say about that then is, even though it says that, I would still go to your doctor and just get a few tests and just make sure there's nothing else going on. Do you know what I mean? Just see what your doctor says, whether you might need an x-ray in case you because as I say, if there's huge pressure like that, of course it can make your spine, your vertebrae, get out of joint and all of that kind of thing. So don't ignore it. Get as much information as you can, but it might be difficult for you, particularly if you don't like listening to other people's opinions. So what can I do? What can anyone do? You just have to make the right decision for yourself. But I am publicly telling you, you should also get medical assessment. Okay, just to rule out, make sure. Because listen, a lot of people tell me that the information they get here is just bang on. I haven't actually had somebody come back and say that I don't get that at all. But I'm not, listen, I could easily have a bad day and not get what you need, or not click into your energy right or something. Who knows? I mean, I'm not perfect. Jesus, I don't think I am. So please don't, just go, well, that's it, and that's all I should listen to. No, get lots of opinions, get research, do your stuff, and look after yourself. All right. So I hope that's helpful. Now, this last one I'm going to do today. Why is my right hip so painful and feels so unstable a year after surgery? Is it an immune reaction to my implant? Am I reacting to the metals in my implant? Or is it an autoimmune disease? My consultant thinks it could be infected. Okay, so I was glad to hear that she's working with a consultant, because once again, this is obviously a very medical thing, because she's had an operation, had something implanted in her, so it's a medical issue, The goal I got here was to enter my hip and get its opinion. Isn't that nice, to sort of ask your hip's opinion about it? Hello, Tony. Nice to see you. So let's see what we have for you. Okay, Skull's positive, active, clear, energetic. She's happy for me to come in. Give me a yes, give me a no. Want to work with 1, 2, 3. Tapping touch for health, clicks, claps, sound, light, smell, gravity, balance, energy field, work above the waist, below the waist. She wants to hold, touch. She wants to put her hand, in the energy field, is it? Okay, so could you please place your hands, how many inches? 1, 2, 3. About 6 inches outside of your hip, the problem place, okay? And just hold your hands there, and notice the feeling in your hands after you become still. Notice the feeling you get in your hands from entering this energy field. Your hip is indeed trying to talk to you, and you are not yet able to listen to it because you are so full of fear. This is understandable because of the history of your case, and this is not the first time you have had serious trouble with this hip. Your hip is unhappy, and it won't be happy until you listen to it deeply. Do this by remaining open to any great sensations you feel in your hands or up your arms while you do this, or images that come to mind, or feelings of somewhat great emotion that enter you. Should I ask? Yeah. Is that okay to ask? Just saying that if anyone else is watching this, to send this lady all of your focus on her hip, please. So, just imagine that you're looking at her hip and just really focusing on it to help her with this. That's how you can help. Get comfortable and stay with this while we give you some information. Your hip won't heal until you work with it instead of against it. This means becoming greatly gentle towards it, and instead of hating the pain and the worry and everything to do with this hip, instead sending it great love and compassion. We ask that everyone who is watching this, either now or at a later date, also send you and your hip great love and compassion. When you do this, your hip starts to relax and it practices being part of your body. When we hate something about our body, or the pain, or whatever, or the history, we actively disconnect from it energetically, and it is pushed out into the cold like a child who isn't accepted, and it complains and it feels awful and it doesn't want to cooperate because it feels left out in the cold. When you send this hip great love and compassion for all It's hard work it has done for you over the years, and its vital role in your pelvic health. You will get it to open up to you and your wishes. Obviously, your desire is for health and well-being in this part of your body, as in all parts of your body. But your hip cannot help you with this if you pressure it with demands and pressure that it can't meet. Every time you feel the pain in your hip, send it great love and gratitude and compassion, and ask it to tell you what you can do right now to take the weight off it. By this we mean the emotional weight, not your body weight. When you allow for some emotional release, you will find that your pain may settle a little and it may become more manageable. Meanwhile, get your consultant to do all of the tests to make sure it isn't an infection or any sort of reaction to the implant, and make sure you get all of the help you can to practice getting your hip into a great loving, healing energy field. The priority for you is twofold. One is to keep putting pressure on your consultant or GP to get all of the tests done as quickly as possible so that you can get some answers. It is in our not knowing that this great fear gets amplified. Once you have your results from the tests, then you can start making some decisions based on what you know and what you have experienced and what your professionals think and every bit of information that you have gathered. Don't be passive in this exercise. By this we mean Don't just take the first piece of advice from anywhere, but do your own research and ask your own gut feelings and see if any advice aligns with you. If you feel generally unable to feel this way about your hip, that is, with compassion and great love, then your job is to work on this ability to what? To get all of yourself loved by yourself. And this is a job that doesn't really have an end in our lives, because we all have so many hidden programs and traumas that have affected the way we perceive ourselves in the world and the way we perceive the world that we engage with. This work is not just about your hip, and it gets you to practice self-love in as many ways as you can, while you unearth the programs that have caused so much suffering in the first place. Anything else? Okay, so I hope that helps you to, maybe work with this on that emotional level, on that kind of spiritual level, I suppose it is too, isn't it? Bringing in that compassion and great healing. And I'll certainly try and send you some healing, and I hope everybody else here that watches this just, what's the best thing they can do if they're not used to doing this sort of thing? You can get focused on what you heard and imagine a woman in great pain and fear, and simply send her all of the love and good wishes and an image of a fully functioning pelvis and hip that is totally healthy and greatly aligned. By holding this image of health and great alignment with her, you can help the healing process. Of course, just by imagining it well doesn't mean it's going to magically become well. But if enough people do it, you never know. Well, we certainly can't hurt you, can we? Sending some loving thoughts and imagining your hip absolutely healed and whole and balanced and correct. Yeah. So that's what we'll try and do for you. I hope people do. I really do hope. And if you feel a little, I always think, when people send me spiritual stuff, I get it like little tingles up and down my back. My back. It's a beautiful feeling. I just know that someone's sending me something, and it's beautiful. It's really, really lovely. So don't ignore those little feelings, or you might find some nice tingling around your hip that's not like the pain feeling, a different feeling, and just, really accept it and welcome it and say thank you and be grateful for it if you're feeling a different feeling down there. Of course, none of that may happen. I'm not, but listen, we do what we can, right? We do what we can, and we really do. That's the best thing we can do. All right, so that's all of the questions I'm going to do today, because I do want to hold some back for next week, okay? And so I've got three that I'm going to do next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Sorry, what am I saying? No, I've got two, Tuesday and Wednesday so far next week. But you know what I mean, I don't want to start with a completely empty slate, because with Easter weekend and that, people might just, nobody might be watching and they might not put any questions in, and then I'm going, no, I've got no questions. And I don't want that. So, I do want to help, and I want the questions. So please do send me a question. It's anonymous. You do sign up your email, but I don't see your email. It goes straight into some Woojoo MailChimp thing. To be that is Woojoo. Where you go on my mailing list, but I don't see who's in there. You don't even put your name in, you just put your email thing in, and I don't see it. So it doesn't matter what it's about. Obviously, it's sort of for family viewing, so if there's anything that people ask that's just a bit, off, kind of, I just won't respond. I just won't answer it, but I won't be telling people. I won't be going back to them and saying, that was a real dicky question, that was just off, obviously I'm not going to answer that. So just so you know, I'm I use my discernment, because if somebody's watching, there's children in the room or whatever, obviously, you don't want to be doing stupid stuff that would be upsetting and possibly, I don't know, whatever. So there is that. The link is bit.ly/wisdom hour, so bit.ly/W wisdom and capital H hour, but all one word. I'll put the link in anyway. And then I'm going to, as of next week, I'm going to, at 1 o'clock BST, or Irish time, which means it could be 5 minutes late, knowing me, I will answer one question each day. And if I start to get, a lot more questions, which I could very well do, I might look at doing 2 a day. But the idea with this is so that I don't have to go through an hour's worth of posts, of video and index, because that's a real right pain in the butt. And so this way, what I'm going to do is they'll be uploaded to YouTube. Then they're going to be downloaded onto my website, and they will be indexed under the questions, so that you can go back there at any time and look at questions, or you might find other questions that you go, oh, I'd really like to have a look at that. That really is interesting. Because you know what, we usually, at different times of our lives, share the same problems or similar problems. You know what I mean? And okay, like this last example, you may not have a terrible hip, or a hip that's playing up, but you might have a shoulder that is giving you a real jip, and you've had an operation on that. And you can take some of what was said here, and use it for that. So there's lots of different ways that this can apply to different people and different problems. Okay? So that's why I really encourage you to put your questions forward, because they're real questions from real people, and they don't just help you. People will be able to go back and look at these questions and answers, well, until my website falls over, really, which I hope won't. And this is sort of like legacy stuff where people can go back in years to come even and have a look at this and see what the general operating device suggested. Because if there's one thing I believe in, it's the general operating device. Yes. And I think we're all hooked up to it. We all have access to it through our bodies. But somewhere along the line, we sort of forgot how to access that. So We are in a stage of increasing evolution at the moment. There's lots of really interesting things going on in this world. We're being asked to step up. We're being asked to evolve more quickly. And if this can help you to do that in any way, shape or form, then I hope it's helpful. So, anything else I need to say? Oh, if you're not on my mailing list already, well, obviously if you put a question in, you go on my mailing list. But my Easter, what do you call it? Newsletter just went out. I think it was this morning, and it's got a discount thing on it, and it's also got more information about Wisdom Hour, and it's got some interesting information about Easter itself that I did a little bit of research about out of interest. So I might just put a link for that too underneath here in case you want to have a look at it. People who have put in questions, in fact anybody who has never done a half-hour free consultation with me online through my website, can go onto my website and book a free half-hour. If you've done one, sorry folks, you only get one, okay? But just so you know, for people who may be out there suffering, they can put in a free question. If they get some help and then they need more help, they can come and do a free half-hour with me. And then, of course, if I feel they need more help, I'm going to offer them maybe a package or something that would be useful to them. And I will muscle test that for them to see what they actually need. Okay? I think that's about it. All right? So I shall finish now and put my links in and all that jazz. And have a fab Easter. Don't eat too many Easter eggs. No. Go on, eat heaps of Easter eggs. I probably won't. I'm more of a hot cross bun girl myself. I like to put a little like cinnamon on top, and a little bit of raw sugar, and just mix it together with butter and put it on top, and then they're really scrummy, and I can get through those. I'm a real motor mouth with those, I tell you. But anyway, yeah, I just hope everyone gets a nice break actually over Easter, because it's usually a nice time. When Christmas can feel very pressured, can't it? But Easter can be a really nice cruisy time when there's no real pressure on people to do anything. I love that. So I'll talk to you soon. I'll be back on, definitely on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Love to see anybody who's here. Thank you for showing up today, and do give me a bit of love, or send, just put up a comment, or share this with people, share the bit.ly link with people. The more people I can help, the happier I am. That's what I'm here for. That is my purpose of being here. And